Education Center downtown. And don't forget, I'm Kendra.
And I'm Sanaya. And guess who's back?
Me, of course. Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm 14, and it's been a minute. Yes, it has been a minute.
Yes,
But
we
okay.
missed you.
Y'all
Actually, I
not
take that
matching
back.
though. Why y'all not matching?
Because
She tried
I don't
so
want to be my
bad.
son. That's literally my son. I don't want him to be my son today. I'm so glad y'all matching. Y'all matching.
So,
Wait.
yeah.
All right, and then we also have. You already know we are with YSL also.
Yeah, that's me. Back with Chopping It Up podcast. My name is Avery, a young ambassador at YSL. But today we just back to talk about community, talk about life, as
Right.
we usually do.
Chopping it up.
That's chopping it up, chopping it down.
And today we do have a special guest here with us.
Hi everybody, my name is Tyler Brody. I have the pleasure of serving as the Youth League Activations Coordinator and the Program Assistant to Rashawn Staten, who is my Executive Director, short for CLIA, Community Law and Action. And what we do exactly, I'm going to just share with you now. We nurture the gifts of young people ages 14 to 24, whatever they may look like. I'm not going to tell you the specifics, but I'm glad to be here with all of you. And I know that there's a multiplicity of people that y'all could have called, and calling me. I'm so honored to be here with y'all.
Right, and you explain what the Youth Activation Bureau, what you do in your position, right?
No, but I don't know.
Okay.
So if anybody is questioning, well, what is a Youth Activations Coordinator? That's simply that I am the mediator between past and present. I move in the structure and the pace and the spirit of intergenerational community engagement, language, and framing, strength-based approaching, making sure that young people are not just limited to one aspect of what the possibility can be, but that all is at fault. We are not giving them the opportunity to be something. So that's what I do.
Okay, that sounds deep. Almost gave like poetry story.
But also, y'all know before we get started, let's thank YARD, Youth as a Resource. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks.
But we gotta make sure the All About Nothing Gallery know we missed.
Yes, we're gonna come back because I miss my props, guys.
I do.
But let's get started on our advocacy and community engagement episode today.
I'm ready. I hope we get into something juicy.
So basically what we have today on the agenda is Wellness Summit, Understanding and Addressing Community Issues, engagement/community activities, making an impact through service, taking initiative, and sustainability, and protecting the planet, because these are important topics.
Just waiting for the slides. There we go.
See the agenda today. And now let's get into our third slide of the day, which we will learn about the Youth Wellness Summit that we have.
Yes. So much going on at the event.
My bad, Youth and Family Wellness Summit. Especially bring out your families because it's on July 19th. You'll see us there. And Avery will be there no matter what because he's forced.
Yes. Every time.
Hopefully, everyone that's right here will be there so we can.
Y'all don't even invite me. Y'all know I
Right. Everybody's there. But besides that, we just wanted to make it known. Again, we always are going to keep shouting this out because we feel everyone should be there to experience what's going to be going on. But there's going to be a lot of the empowering the youth, yoga, art therapy, wellness kits, workout groups, many more. The list goes on and on. But if you guys register, if you go to our Instagram and you register, you will see the agenda and what is, kind of a scoop of what will be provided there, what you guys can, take the opportunity with.
And how it's free, get free food, especially food, guys.
Free food.
Ice cream in this heat. Need
Yes.
that. Need
Yoga.
that.
Oh, and we also will be learning about new programs in STEM, arts, jobs, and civil engagement.
And we may have a little performance going on, so why not come and experience this for free?
We're not going to spoil it too much for y'all, though.
All right, my bad.
If it's free, you should be there. If it's free 99, you should go there.
My thing is, what's the thing about people when it comes to free? Where do they go? Hurry up and run to it because you already know a lot of people will not like.
And that don't mean
won't
because
have
it's free,
like-
come late. That means be on time and come and get a scoop of.
You know, if you come late, I'm just gonna eat all the food.
Right, you're gonna miss out for us.
And he gonna take all the snacks.
I'm
I'm
just take all
telling
the
you,
snacks.
he's going to. He's
Like
going
whatever they got.
But it's from 10 a.m. through 4 p.m.
And while you're there, don't forget to also like figure out what we are, like connect with the community. Like Sitka, y'all gotta figure out what Sitka is. Like during the event, of course, y'all gotta figure out what it is. But also like come by see what YSL is. Like it's a lot going on.
We will have vendors there also. Definitely check us out.
So many vendors, so many opportunities, so many job opportunities, career opportunities, health opportunities, wellness opportunities. Just coming to the school.
Alright. And then on to our next topic of the day, guys.
Don't forget that date.
But don't forget it. How is the show going for y'all? Can y'all please type it in the chat?
1 through 10, like rated so far. 1 through 10 rated.
How was it going for y'all though? Because I know a few of us were pretty nervous.
Well,
I know who nervous up
I'm
here.
trying to say I'm pretty chill with y'all by now.
Nervous?
I'm always.
A little bit.
Have you been hearing the vibe? Like,
I'm always.
But what you feeling that like? I know you were ready, Avery.
Hopefully more and more during the show will get you to loosen up
I
a
mean, it's
bit.
just,
You
it's,
feel
it's a spirit of humility that I have. I was given, I guess, raised by my grandma. So you must have to always be nervous. If you're not nervous, you're not chosen to do the work. So that's how I feel.
Right? Because you can be ready, guys. You just gotta like realize those nerves. Hit every show. Every show.
and those things happen. We can sometimes we can't control them, so we gotta adapt to them and move on.
Alright. Alright. On to the next slide.
Seems he knows how to like,
Addressing community issues.
knows how to like control them nerves well. Cause I couldn't even tell you what's nervous out there. You know, I mean, maybe the ring, but like I don't know. It's something I always see you doing. So it's like, you know,
I mean, when you get to do this for a while, everyone expects you to be prepared. And, you know, proper planning for good for performances. I'm a person about that. I believe in preparation. But words about my mentor, I don't care how long you prepare. You don't always have to go by the agenda.
Right.
So some things just might happen differently. So this is a conversation that we already outlined. But who's to say that something different might come out of it?
And life is all about like adapting. You know what I mean? You can't always be comfortable. You can't always be familiar to whatever it is that you are accustomed to. So sometimes they feel like throw yourself to the wolves, but some wolves might just hurt you. Like you never know. Like they might just.
And to people who are watching us today, whether you're young or old, an elder, or the energy of a young person, I want you to know that you are chosen to do the work, whatever that may look like. And even if the wolves do come, I believe also a man of faith, and the weapon shall be formed against you shall be able to prosper.
Exactly.
That you have a realm around you of protection that is given to you by the prayers and promises that were made by your forefathers. So you have nothing but strength to go forward.
Yep. And that bubble, it don't gotta just be personal space. It can be a mental space too. Having that bubble placed around so that your mental isn't affected by the environment that you do may have to adapt to and things in that sort.
And then with adapting, that's why they also have the whole saying where you gotta expect the unexpected.
Stay ready so you don't gotta get ready.
Yes.
That just means being able to go with the flow and right.
And ideally, I'll say this too: a life is like a buffet. You have to try everything before you figure out what exactly is fit for you.
Exactly, right? I don't like being in a pocket. Do y'all like I like to be able to experience, get a taste of everything. But staying true to what it is that I love.
Like traveling to different states.
Absolutely.
Like that, honey, on that.
I like my little pocket though. Like I like staying home in my bed.
Me too. That don't mean I don't love my bed. That don't mean I love my bed. I love my bed down. I love my bed down.
I love my bed.
He love my bed down too.
Mattress bed.
just in it.
Like Kimmy too. All my siblings.
But let's get on to addressing community issues like education and youth development, which is basically academic support and a need for after-school tutoring, mentorships. Sometimes it's not even after school. Like this summer, what programs do they have? What can you get into? Because you don't just want to be in the house or someone tell you move. They don't want to talk right now. You want something to do, like with your friends. What y'all doing this summer?
I'm gonna be with the same people I'm always with.
Oh, why you say with that?
No, it's a good because it means that like I'm comfortable with my people, and even though we want to have some new people, like I still have a part of that home and security coming with me. So
Okay. I had to make sure for me and Sean.
y'all trying to clock me? Like
That's not right.
What about you, Tyler?
What am I doing this summer? A host of things. I plan on attending college this semester, or next one, if you will. Spend more time and being more intentional as it regards to the life of my son and how I do interaction with him. And then the summertime for me is all about taking risks. And so I'm going to be participating in New York Fashion Week, possibly, and a host of other things that will be coming my way. But I have no plan for the summertime other than enjoying the weather.
And now you can family wellness summit. Just like
so, like the question, y'all gonna be doing everything this summer, taking risks. So, like, would y'all like ever jump out of plane? Like, you know what a parachute?
Me.
Yeah.
Is somebody attached with me?
Nah, be.
No, somebody gotta be attached with me. I gotta make sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
If we gotta go,
I might do it. I
we
might
gotta go.
just
I don't know.
have to jump out that time.
What's
Man,
this? So, Sean, what's your summer looking
my summer looking like focus on myself,
like?
but like focusing on my health care.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I still be out to events though. You know what I mean? You know what I
What
mean?
you be doing at summer there?
Well, yeah.
Except for being snacks.
I was ready to say that. Some years that will be helping out,
Helping out.
trying to see new businesses, new stuff.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So wait, what is it more that you like to do? Like, what are you into?
I'm into sports.
Sport?
Like, yeah, definitely like football. I'm into musical.
Okay.
Oh, for me this summer, guys,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get my camera. I'm about to take some pictures. It's gonna be really nice. Yes.
Thank you, Governor Westmore, for all that you do.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it.
That mailing service is gonna help me get my camera, my equipment, because I want to get back into photography. I always loved it, and sometimes I don't want to pay that camera storage on my phone.
Okay, guys, let's talk about public safety and violence prevention. I feel like what that is having people feel comfortable where they can come to a safe space and talk about help or when they need help or talk about their feelings. So, what do you feel like?
I feel like public safety and like violence prevention are specific events based around public safety, like you said. I think there's a specific organization called Safeguard, right? And they were at a community event, and they're like about violence prevention. And they had a lot of tips and tools, like a lot of health hotlines, a lot of wellness centers that you could go
Wasn't
to.
there a number you could call if you need to?
Yeah.
It was like I forgot what it's called, but I remember you could call it if you wanted a safe space to talk or if you need help or something.
Oh, we can.
Actually, we have that at the end of the slide. I made sure
Right
that
there.
It's good.
Okay. Good brain take a light.
But Avery, what community issue that you feel like is important?
I feel like a real important community issue is health and wellness, especially like at a time like this because it's getting real hot outside. I don't know. I feel like you need to like be worried about your health. A lot of people like dropping from like just how hot it is. So like, yeah, stay focused on that, and it's like wellness, like community overall wellness. Like I feel like if one person is not well in your community, it really affects your whole community because that one house starts looking bad. Like he's not taking care of his grass outside, all that. And I feel like if y'all came together for real and made sure like your whole community was well, I don't know, it would like everything would start working out better.
That's why you should make sure to drink water because of how hot it's been this week.
Some sunscreen.
Get some ice.
You get darker.
Sunscreen.
Stay hydrated and deodorize.
Deodorize, especially.
Here's an important fact that I want to make sure.
Invest in liquid deodorant that turns into powder. I swear, like you don't even need. You don't need the roll. No, you don't. Did lie. Cause you an L man, you ain't never tell me. You just walking around not telling me.
Why? You know,
Like-
I want to do that.
Like,
Here's one point that I would want to share in regards to all these community issues that we're talking about. One thing that I'll share now is that this nation, with this president, is not afraid of who you are, and that he does not care who you are either. We're trying to propose a bill that's going to be that's going to be for the Senate, actually, I think either today or during this week. It's going to be called or entitled the Big Beautiful Bill, right? And it's going to make sure there's cutting through 37, I think, billion dollars as regards to healthcare, childcare, education purposes. Places like Morgan State Coppin, all HBCUs, their funding will be stripped. Opportunities for engagement, right? And so here is what I want to say as regards to that. I know we're talking about public safety. There are a few concerns that I want to target as a challenge, right? When I say that, I'm talking about education and workforce. I'm talking about reform, justice for young people. I'm talking about police reform. I'm talking about wealth and health and well-being. And when I specifically on mental health, right? I want us to increase, or the nation, more locally, to increase access to mental health care and counseling services in schools and communities. One thing I don't see, and I've only saw this one time in my lifetime. I've been doing this work now in senior leadership for over 3 years and 9 months. But I have only experienced facilitating a workshop at a school in Cherry Hill when they committed the entire day to mental health and wellness. The students had a curriculum based upon how you feel, what are your next steps, and what do you need to do to get from now to then. I don't see that any longer, right? I don't even think that mental health is a topic of conversation because everybody wants to go on the wave. We're not actually doing anything to increase it. And so when we talk about that, like what just happened recently, less than a week of it, a young man who was tragically passed and shot by the police department. I think we have to do a more consensus, and this is no shot to our administration at all. They're doing exceptionally well. The crime rate has gone down. But if you want to get to the resilience of Baltimore, you have to first uncover and see how people are feeling when they're not in front of you. Where are they? Where is their mind? What are they thinking about? What are the trauma that they have experienced or even dealt with or even invited that day prior to the moment of them outbursting or crashing out?
Exactly.
I feel like people don't take mental health as a serious thing.
They don't.
Oh, and speaking of which, you said some fundings were cut. Did y'all hear that youth works? A lot of people didn't get jobs this year because the funding got like cut and some like a lot of people got jobs because they automatically make sure to reach out to people quickly.
Their close connects
Yes.
or network.
They've already met, but some people that didn't have a chance to connect with anyone or anything, they're not able to have jobs. They have to find something to do because they don't want to be in the house. So that's where a lot of stuff like ends up where people will go down the wrong path. That's why like we created the podcast, and I feel like with a lot of stuff, you need to make a chance for them.
We need to develop programs that is specifically geared or focused on prevention and treating. Right, that substance abuse. I don't know if there's one or we work closely with, or like all of our community associations right now. We are responders who did an exceptional job showing young people as it regards to what happens to addiction and abuse. But again, I say, and I want to make it very much clear, if you want to know what is going on in the city, not just of Baltimore, but wherever you are, and those who are going to be watching us across the airways, across the nation, don't think that a local problem is going to be fixed by going outside and becoming an activist, because an activist is somebody who throws stone at a glass door. When you become an advocate, you're not just screaming out loud because you want people to hear your voice. You're actually going to people who are actually doing the work. So what am I saying by that? Don't just cry out loud on the street when you can't go to your elected officials and tell them, I'm holding you accountable because the taxes that I pay for is what's actually funding your salary. So go to them, make calls for them. Call your local state and federal officials and let them know, well, number one, do not support this bill, but number two, what are you doing that is creating upward mobility for every young person and person in the nation?
Exactly. By the way, guys, Lee said that she is happy to see youth out here actually speaking on these topics. And Keith said, yes, the heat is driving people to do crazy things.
Right. And y'all, I want to speak on It's going really quickly because the definition of it, I was not aware of it, but it's environmental justice. But before I said, do y'all know what that is?
Environmental justice.
Or what y'all think that is? Environmental justice.
Basically, like pollution, waste. They like protest for that.
Definitely trying to help the environment. That's what I think justice is.
Avery.
Yeah, I would agree with y'all saying. Just like pushing, like I don't know, pushing, like I don't know, better for the environment. So like yeah, protesting, putting up signs, telling people to recycle, stuff like that.
Okay, well, it says that environmental justice is making sure everyone, no matter their race, background, or zip code, has the right to a clean, safe, and healthy environment. So, fighting pollution and health risks, protecting natural resources, and things like toxic waste. But they gave me an example which was so interesting because I wasn't thinking of this, but they said this would be an example of environmental injustice. If a toxic waste plant gets built near black or brown communities very often, but never near a rich or white one, that is an environmental justice issue. And I did not think of that in that perspective, but you wouldn't think like that would be like, just put in a box, even though they said like no matter what, everyone putting on their background should be included in, all the benefits or whatever it is.
The social determinants of health, public health and equity. Like I watch closely to what Councilman Felicia Porter is doing as well. Let's be sure, right? Every ounce of opportunity that is set to decrease or to diminish the opportunity of black and brown people, the president is after. You hear me? And so when I say that, he just proposed a bill also, I'll say probably about 2 months ago, which my records recall. And I know there are some people who are probably smarter than me who will go back to this video and say, well, he didn't say the right date. That's not important. What I'm saying is that the air pollution in Baltimore that we know right now, he's decreased the funding for that, so that way kids who have asthma will rise up and spike because of the funding that is going supporting of public health and equity, right? He's kind of, so when you say climate change and environmental justice, he doesn't care about that stuff. Number one, because you don't make enough money to even be a part of this conversation. Number two, he doesn't care less about how you feel and what your equity is. Because number one, he's also saying that Social Security, there are people who live up to 103 years old who are still getting checks. I don't think that's even possible. And so I just wanted to give highlight to that there are environmental justice happening, green spaces and community farming that could be possible, housing, where people's neighborhoods are. I'm even having a conversation that is also extended to all of us here as regards to social determinants of health. We're communicating with the newly elected commissioner in the coming days ahead to ideally say, what is it that you need from us? You want to do farming in the city. How does that look?
Exactly.
And where do young people come in as a part of that conversation? Because we can say it all day, that Baltimore is resilient, that it's pretty and it's beautiful. Those who live here for all of our lives, we know that to be true. But there's also some point of us restructuring how we do the work. And so that's what I want to highlight.
Oh, with the whole environmental justice, right, guys? In reduction with YSL, y'all do community cleanups, isn't that basically y'all working towards that?
Yeah, I would say that's a form of environmental justice because we do go out into the community and plant, and that does teach kids to carry that on and do that in their own time. So yeah, and also I don't know with YSL, I don't know. I feel like we're taught to just be that better person when you step in that room because the community first pushes that on you, but also our mentors there. That's all they teach us. To be done. So,
If I could be sure, 1 out of 5 people, this is just my recollection, who are littering just because they don't get caught. They say I can just keep continuing to do it. So you're making the city even more bad because you continue to roll down your window and throw something out the door. You can just hold it until you get home, or recycle it when it's proper use or it's proper order. You only want it. How your house looks is how you want the city to look. Yeah.
Exactly.
So how you treat your home, how you treat your temple, or whatever it may be, it's how it reflects your how you city will be. So don't go outside crying that you want more opportunity and equity and all this other great stuff when you can't go home and take care of your household.
And on that note, let's move on to the next one. Making an impact through service. Yes. Oh wait, the next one. Sorry, my bad, guys. Where's my brain? It's the heat. Understanding and addressing community issues.
Y'all are funny.
Basically, go ahead.
How we can make an impact is engaging things that benefit others. That's how I feel like.
Take an initiative. Use your voice, guys. Like, go to events, go to rallies. Make sure you go to community actual meetings so you can hear about what's happening to us youth. So you can hear about what's going on, because a lot of times I know they can be boring, guys, but we need to go to those meetings so they actually help us, because they're deciding for us when us youth should actually be there helping to decide. Advocacy. Understand what advocacy is, which is understanding and addressing community issues. Understanding what it is by speaking up for what's right, standing with others to actually go through problems, using your voice and actions and knowledge. That's what the podcast is all about. And also how to build confidence.
So when I did some research, they said ways to build your confidence would be to start small, doing things like maybe a panel, maybe something smaller like a book reading class, reading out loud or something, or volunteering. Prepare and practice. Know your stuff. Know what it is that you want to do, who that you want to talk to. Prepare, even if that's a speech you need to prepare for, even if that's an environment you need to prepare for. Celebrate your wins. Give yourself your props and your credit for what it is that you do, even if it's not perfect, and even if you didn't get it on the first try. Giving yourself grace and understanding and being able to reflect also builds your confidence. Surround yourself with support and like-minded people, positive people who help you shine and also remind you of the goodness in you. Learn from your mistakes. They're not failure, they're just feedback. But you have to be able to reflect to understand. So what do you think?
Basically, like you said, I loved it. Like setting goals, celebrating progress, like whole progress where you finish the whole service year, or celebrate stuff where my outfit came out good today, guys. I was happy because it'd be hard.
You trying to copy my outfit, but she said we switch it up a little bit. Like,
It's a fact that I did have on sweats. I did have on.
See, she wanted me.
Okay.
You're my son,
Okay.
whatever.
Y'all just two peas in a pod. So what about you guys, Avery and Tyler? What do you
How do y'all as males build confidence?
As males, as I build confidence as a male, I would say it's not something like we really go out and look for it, because like I don't know, we're supposed to have that confidence in us already. But like I would say the way to build confidence, I don't know, you tell yourself like, oh, like I'm gonna get through this, like just talk to yourself inside, or like I don't know, even like go out and try to find like a figure that has that confidence in them, and then ask them like how they did it.
So that like didn't build your confidence for you today?
Oh no, there's light right here. Oh yeah, it got. Oh my god, it got my confidence.
Just like I'm saying, I be saying all the time, I'm the goat. I try to like keep myself up that I'm like good at this, good at that. But I'm the best at something.
Is that why you try to take over the podcast?
boosting
Man.
yourself?
Man, I came back and everybody with me. Like,
I'm
yeah.
dead. That's you to highlight.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I'm a bookworm, and so here's a challenge I want to give to some people. Read James Clear, Atomic Habits. It's a 90-day challenge. One of the things he highlights that I take now is closer to my life. He says that sometimes it's not because of those finding purpose. Number one is how do you build your confidence, and so I'll start there. Before you figure out what you mean to social media and likes, figure out who you are first. My success coach said something to me a month ago. She said, Tyler, you're great. You're going to be successful. Your light always shines bright. She says you have multiple vehicles of change that you could enter, but you have to figure out which one that lane will be. Here's what I want to tell you. If you build those habits that may seem bad and formulate them and train them to solve your problems on a daily basis, your confidence will go up. Okay? And so my confidence, I had to get to this point now where I can care less because confidence is my prayer, but clothes are my religion. And so how I dress expresses my confidence that I'm now comfortable in who I am. And it took me a while to get here. When I was in middle school, I went through a lot of God complex and imposter syndrome um, in high school. And when I was in middle school, I actually used to get bullied for being this way. I blame my mother because she raised me to dress however way I wanted to. So I was wearing bow ties and shorts and butts to school because that's how I felt confidently. And then I went through this period of time where I was going through depression because I felt like I wasn't doing what other people were doing. I'm called, I'm chosen, I'm great. I go to all these different other things, but I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. That's common, that is familiar. How do I create this level of separation? Here it is. Build small habits. I didn't say it, James Clear said it. And so whatever habits that you think are bad, if you develop them and train them to solve the problems that you go on a daily basis, your confidence will not only be built, but it will have a firm foundation that it will never happen again.
I
So
feel
I
like
take
One
that.
step.
It only takes one step.
there's a lot of followers and leaders. Like they'll see one person they'll see a whole bunch of people with a ski mask on, want to put that ski mask on baby real good. But they'll see a whole bunch of people with a no face on, purple jeans, and they're all need on wear. So I feel like it's what followers, just leaders trying to do the whole thing.
Now, I don't say that to say this one thing too. Young people are the experts of their own lives. Not to say that you can't use the wisdom of the elders and the energy of the young people to move forward. That's what we have to use. That's becoming intergenerational. So your wave is your wave, but your morals is what makes is what's important.
Exactly. Like, that's crazy you said that. I got 2 points. It was they see somebody because the same thing. Somebody was like, do y'all really
Tell me,
buy?
like she see me, she like, oh my god, that's so cool. I gotta wear that.
I see this
Wow.
post. The post was like, do y'all really know how to dress, or do y'all just want to put on designer clothes and wear the same clothes over and over again? And then I also saw something that was like, well, I came to this. Something made me come to this conclusion. I was like, basically, like influencers and celebrities find what's good to them, either if that's makeup, clothes, put their own touch to it, move in their own, you know what I mean, happiness and what they feel. And when people see it, that's how it becomes an influence, how it becomes a trend, you know what I mean? Because they're being themselves, they're being something that's new, they're showing a different type of style, expression, whatever that may be, and that's the influence, you being yourself and others just liking that. And that's really all it's about. Once you realize that, I feel like your confidence is gonna get bigger because you'll know you could be your biggest influencer. You could be your own stylist. You could be your own, motivation. You just have to.
And whole time, celebrities be literally wearing the most simplest things. Sometimes some of them actually shop at the thrift store like we do, and someone would think it's designer, but it's not. Like, just wear what you want. That's why Shein or Walmart or Target.
Walmart.
So Walmart's crazy.
So to sum that up, right? Let me just say this side note. Whoever will steal what I said, I'm coming after you. When I said confidence is my brand. I only have that trademark, so don't do that. The second thing is number 2. I guess what we're trying to get out of this is this message is that confidence or building it has nothing to do with the external. It's everything to do with the internal being, the transformation of what's inside of you. Just because, like Robin Williams, I don't know if y'all heard that name before, who was a great comedian and actor, made everyone laugh, and then they found him in his house, and he committed suicide. What do you do when all you know in your whole life is contributed to other people's laughter, but you can't even feel your own? Right? So building confidence, again, has nothing to do with the external. It's everything to do with the internal. Once you fix who you are and discover that from the inside. I wake up every morning and tell myself today is going to be a great day, not because I know what's going to happen, but because I already declared it. And whatever I decide to do is my choice.
When I wake up, I feel like praying is always a good way to start. So I be slipping sometimes, but sometimes I remember to be praying with me, bless God for everything He done for me. So
You should. As you should.
I'm trying to think of that song.
Every
You pray today.
I don't know why I just been thinking of that
Pops up.
Sinner song You make me wanna shout.
Jump, yeah, man, all singing and dancing.
Yes. Yes.
The vampires start coming out.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, oh no.
What she wanted to do for her birthday? Her first thing she wanted to do for her birthday: watch Sinners with Michael B. Jordan.
In Puerto Rico, oh my God! I said we was there in like 5.4 seconds. I don't even know how we got there. But we got there. We got there.
But let's move on to the engagement/community activities.
So, really quickly, I hope y'all got a pen and paper because I'm going to give y'all some. I'm going to just be plugged real quick. I got some stuff for y'all.
Just writing your notes. You know,
Yeah,
y'all
I got
have
some
papers like that.
So, supportive youth organizations, if you don't already know, you will know now. Heart Smile, B360, the B Org, Yo Baltimore, and Thread, Dream Big Inferno, CLIA, and
CLIA.
there we go. Period.
You make sure to say our partners on YSL.
Oh, YSL, chop it up. Sorry. See, look, I'm thinking if it's we together, like,
Oh, are we
but
going?
nah, you, yes, chopping it up.
Right.
Yeah.
It says sick already, so like you gotta make sure to say YSL.
YSL, chopping it up, don't forget that.
But literally, we have engagement in community activities like how to research and understand social issues. Basically, when you research, make sure that you're being very detailed about what you want because it'll be very vague. Like pizza place.
You can't say that on Google.
No.
You might be in Bethesda and you live all the way in the city. Like, what?
In the city. Then it gives me Houston. It gives me California. Why would I want pizza out there?
Exactly. But, like Kendra said, be intentional because somebody, I think it was my mom, but I was on Google and she was like, you can't just say this because there's so many things out there. You have to be intentional. You have to be very, very specific. Even down to the color, how it sounds, put it all in there because some of those characteristics, some of those similarities, whatever it may be, will help you lead you to what it is that you need. And that goes for the same thing in person, like communication. When you're talking to people, know what it is that you're trying to get across, know what it is that you need or what you want them to know or notice, hear about. And then what's your end goal with that? To get their email, to get their number, to partner, connect with them, have your plan set up and being able to, if they ask you a question, being able to answer that question. Prepare yourself to walk confidently and effectively into whatever room. So, what is your role? How do you find your role
in the community and what do you want it to be?
Exactly.
If
So,
you don't have one.
How to find your role starts with discovering where you belong, what you're good at, and how to make a difference. How you can make a difference and change what it is that you're good at your own touch. Because, yeah, there's a bunch of engineers, but maybe you made something that nobody else has ever made. So add your own touch to it. Put your brain to it. Know yourself. Ask for feedback. And make space for mistakes. Give yourself praise. Give yourself chances and hold yourself accountable. Own up to your actions so that you are able to reflect. If you don't own up to your actions and take accountability, not believe in your mistakes, you'll not be aware of your mistakes, and then you won't be able to make a change. What do you think about that? Like, how do you get into your role?
I feel like that's true, especially like with the whole. You gotta make sure, like, depending on the friends you have, which that if they're real friends, they'll sit with you, practice for a speech that you had, no matter how long. Just make sure that you're doing great because you know that you would do the same thing.
Exactly. Or practice while you're trying to model. Make sure you say, "Oh, punch your toes." Oh, that turn with a little wobbly. You know what I mean?
Well, today is amazing.
So we've got to highlight to make sure that your community is invested in the same things that you are. There's people who are a part of you because you're not just likes and hashtags, your strategies and your solutions. And so make sure that you have the right people body around you that can help you and support you and have the same interests. I got to where I am and other people will get to and these people will get to where you're supposed to get if you have enough people who are either doing what you want to do or is somewhere intermediate of a journey that you want to pass.
Sadly, I had to learn that the hard way, but being around like-minded people they will understand the value of it and they'll support you just as much. If people don't understand the value of what they're supporting, their support was like none to you. You know what I mean? So if you're putting yourself in the position to be around people that understand you, understand your accomplishments, or what it is that you want to do in life, it'll be easier to have those conversations with them because you won't have to break down every single detail. They might ask you a question that you didn't think of, and now you're brainstorming even more to a different level that you actually needed. So
Definitely. I think I doubt. No, respectfully, I think I have doubted someone because they was like, especially my man's Turk. He was like, I want to be a basketball player, a rapper, a football player, going to NFL, the NBA, also be a rapper and a boxer at the same time. I'm just like, can you even be in the NFL and the NBA at the same time? So I'm down at him. I'm down at him.
you're
Like,
not downing.
like-
You can't
like-
put your terminology. I don't think that's downing though.
I didn't mean down him, but like, I was definitely
Little
not supporting. I was definitely not supporting that dream.
Or trying to be realistic and rational. Be like, well, like, how old are you trying to be in the NFL? And then how old are you trying to be in the NBA?
It was very much possible. Mike Jordan did it.
But I like
But he did baseball.
at the same time, we're different time frames. Different time frames, right? So different. Maybe because you didn't bring a uplifting perspective to that, you think it's downing. But it's just you weren't really intentional with your wording. You know what I mean? Because you didn't say, "Oh no, you suck. You're not good at basketball or football or rapping or boxing. You gonna get beat up." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was definitely like, you can do it at different time frames, but all at the same time. How you want to be? Where if you got basketball training or a football game and a basketball game at the same time? How you gonna be both
He
of
was being
that?
a little bit realistic, trying to
Like,
weigh out his options. You know?
that-
But it's good that you reflected and you thought about your wording and your tone and that thing. That just shows the type of person you are.
No, for real. Especially because I understand, like, sometimes it's hard to choose with the whole many paths you have. Like, you got, for me, I got photography, or I got game development, or I want to get into something new, create something. And I doubt my skills a lot when it comes to, like, painting or taking pictures, because I have to take pictures several times to make sure it's perfect. And even when it comes to something that's real simple, I have to line it up and it has to be even. That's why I'm like, when it came to actually being in the community, I was like, I doubted myself at first, but I'm like, hold up, I like talking. I'm really nice to people. I'm really nice to people. So of course, it's just perfect fit. Sean don't count.
I don't think I got a lot of things. I think the only thing that I really want, I mean, of course, in the future, I'd like probably get some new habits. Right now, I'm trying to stick on rapping, or like, yeah, rapping.
Maybe we might need you to do a little opening for us.
I gotcha.
What about you, Avery?
Me, in the future, I want to be a bioscientist, like work with like medicine, stuff like that. Or not that, I want to work like horticulturally, like with plants and like stuff like that. Because that stuff really just brings me like calmness. I feel like I would enjoy my occupation in my future occupation.
So if I get down bad sick one day, you gonna help me?
Of
For
course.
real, I don't gotta go to the doctor. I can just tell you, like, hook me up.
Yeah, I got you.
Hook me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you medicine.
Right. So, benefits of volunteering. Before I list some of the key things I found, what do y'all think is like the benefits of volunteering?
You can graduate on time because you need that community service hours. You actually get a family through community service. And you also get to learn new skills and build them. Like planting, even though dirt is not good for you and you don't like it, and you count yourself as just a girl.
Quick question, Tyler.
Yeah.
What about
How to advocate at work? I mean, Annapolis, sorry.
Say one more time.
How to advocate in Annapolis?
How do you?
Yeah.
Well, I think like number one, be very clear. You can do the chat GPT if you want to, of who my elected officials are.
Uh-huh.
Right, and so that's what you do. Number one, everyone should know civic or branches of government, which is legislative, judiciary, and executive. Right. So the executive locally is Mayor Brandon Scott. It is also worked as a business, right? And so this institution, he's the leading CEO of the city. Everything is regards to the ins and outs or returns or output he calls or orchestrates. Once you figure out who your elected officials are locally and on the state level, make yourself be known and exactly figure out what your why is. To not just be making assumptions, right? And so when I said that I wanted to become an advocate, I knew exactly that meant education. So I supported Teach for America, and supported their grant writing and so forth of that nature. And then Strong Schools, where I supported the budget, right? So going thoroughly about this $3 billion deficit that we were in this year, how could it be contributed to making sure that schools 21st century against the entire city were improved, making sure that there are more advancements. And then like I also helped the tobacco free kids campaign, where I advocated for tobacco to be banned in the stadiums last year. And now this year, I also banned electronic vaping in the state. And so it's already been signed by the governor. So how do you do that? Once you figure out what your why or your cause for your vehicle of change may be, endow yourself, volunteer to see what these people are doing, what their community efforts are. Do they align with your interests? And then say, okay, I want to be involved so much. Get on their nerves, email them as much as you want to. I cannot tell you how many times I either called, emailed, not just Senator also Brooks or whoever it may be who is now in the round of vacations, but also like I've been doing this work when I was 11. So they've known me since I was a knee-high to a grasshopper. I'm just now just a little bit more formed and an adult. And so my why has not changed. The message is still clear. How do I operate? So do that, please.
So basically, it burns our slide afterwards.
And so, like, I also wanted to add to that, and I know we got to go to the next slide because I don't want us to go over time. But it sounds like also too that to have that you have to discover your purpose, and discovering that is a long journey. I'm always an advocate for having multiple plan A's. And when I say that, that means don't just limit yourself to boxing or whatever. There are more to it than becoming a football player and a basketball player. And I'm not knocking anybody who wants to do that, but why do that when you can own the team, right? Why do that when you can work in the C-suite and do and operate in that level? So there's multiple opportunities. Have multiple plan A's, but figure out what your purpose is first, and then discover how much more opportunities there are. And if there isn't, and you don't see anything listed, create a role for yourself.
And know it's okay if things changes and you have a new interest or hobby and something makes you more happier. Stick to what makes you happier, because if you're going to work every single day and you go in that door and you're not happy, there's a whole energy shift. And when you walk out that door, don't just, the energy stops there. No, take that energy with you into whatever new environment you're going into, and you're traveling in, and it's just spreading more and more and more because your new interactions fulfill that energy.
And then, like, also too, I would also share is ideally make sure that not just what you post on social media. Like, one thing people don't understand is that big people follow it and they watch your stuff. So you may have a door closing or something just because of what you post on social media. So in every case that you can be, if you are an advocate, make sure that you are expressing not just your view of opinion, but in real time, not something that is not true. Because we have this new culture of propaganda. That's what the president is going off of. He does things just to get your attention and lie to you in your face. And so what you put out, right, on Instagram, making sure that you're putting out real truth. But ideally, like, virtual content that you do, make sure that it's impacting legislation. And so, again, I say you're not just likes and hashtags. You are strategies and solutions. And these people are going to look up to you and for you to create the answer. So make sure that you have the information, that you know exactly what's going on, so that when they come to you, you're not just well abreast, and you're well prepared, and you're ready to take on what it is. And so when I got the call for tobacco-free kids, they said, well, we have this thing going up again. I testified before the House and I testified before the Senate. And then I said, oh, ain't no hope in that. And then they called me again and said, guess what? It's going to be signed, so it's now a bill. I advocated for, and I'll say this, youth works is now year-long because of me through CLIA. I advocated 8 years ago that youth work should be year-long, because I believe that you shouldn't just serve 5 weeks and there's no opportunity of engagement afterwards. And I don't have a knock in, and I know that I don't want to get off topic, but I get so overwhelmed and exhausted of the information that doesn't go out of you being having the opportunity. But I'm also frustrated that we keep having these events and conversations and gala or whatever it may be, and we get these people for this moment, and then when they're gone, 3 seconds after they walk out the door, they forget because they don't have anything to take away from.
Exactly.
So what do we do that meets the needs of them after this event, after this conversation, after that? making sure that you staying up to date, being civically engaged, know what you're talking about. Please, and even myself as a point of contact. Um, and when you raise awareness, don't just throw stones at a glass door. Make sure that you're knocking it down, never to return again.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important that we have this slide because it's making an impact through service.
He's coming for Trump now.
And before you get into impact, because volunteering, you can make an impact. But before that, volunteering builds confidence, leadership skills. You can connect with your community and networks. It helps boost college and job opportunities. It empowers you to make a change, and by volunteering, like they said, it empowers job opportunities, career opportunities. It shows how committed you are when you put your free time instead of scrolling on Instagram, going outside with your friends, hanging out. When you put that into making an impact or a change to better other people other than yourself. So,
Right. And then making an impact through service, like as young people, we can make real differences because like we say all the time, we are the new adults, and Sean will be one day. We are the new adults, and basically, and Avery, my bad, I forgot about you. And we just have to take a chance because we will be taking over. Hostile takeover, not really, but we will be taking over and being in control and in charge. We need to make sure that during this time we actually build what we want the world to be. That's why the first step is educating ourselves with learning information, reading articles, looking at the news, actually. Support and uplift. All it takes is one person to stand up for you guys.
Avery, how do you feel like you can make an impact through WhatsApp?
I feel like I've been making an impact through YSL by like really just putting my voice out there through the podcast, chopping it up. It's been like a real big thing because like I don't know, you could always go back to that. It's up like forever. I mean, kids know how to use the internet. Like that's some kids that really wrong. Another way we make an impact, we teach kids how to save money and all that. Like it's business and accounting. That's what we teach at YSL, and I feel like that goes a long way because like. We learned there that our Black communities are like really just getting into like learning to save money and like getting into business and accounting. So
Did you know that kids actually mean goat though? So I think you should call us food, please.
Bye, Kendra. What terminology
Oh my god.
Where did you find?
That's very much true.
Where y'all find this at?
I can't remember where I found that, but several people confirmed like every time someone's called a kid, that's another name for a goat.
Ready to
baby.
all?
Baby goat.
Oh, so
Yeah,
next time you call me a kid, I'm gonna do the goat. Like,
Ready to them,
But you don't want to be compared to a baby goat.
oh yeah, I don't.
What was I say?
No, not baby goat. G.O.A.T. Yeah. There we go.
Anyway, I don't think we needed that part, guys.
That's language frame.
Let's just continue. That's delusional. There are a lot of injustices and unfair treatments happening around us. They impact the real people, especially in our own communities that we don't even know. That's why if you have a chance, help your neighbor. Or help your friends, families.
Get involved. Get involved. Get involved. Get involved.
Avery, I think you should make a garden, like a program for people to go outside and engage in that. Like I think that would be nice.
Yeah. Shoot, I think it would be nice too. Like, how would I get that started though?
What you mean? You start with your close and small connects first, and they get to share it and it expands from
Don't you have
there.
YSL to help you?
Because it's not just like
YSL to help me.
it's not just like gardening. People can learn how to grow their own fruits, how to make their home and environment, their garden beautiful. You know what I mean? I want to learn those things, and if my friend know how to do it, and I don't gotta pay for somebody to teach me or pay for somebody to do it, I would definitely attend it.
And I feel like your friends and YSL definitely would help and manage that.
They probably will, I'm not gonna lie. And I also feel like gardening is also like a really good like skill to have in your toolbox because it helps you like calm down sometimes. Get out the house. And if you're not trying to be in the house, go outside, backyard, do garden. You don't gotta be out back just standing there staring at your yard.
Exactly. So, taking initiative, our action plan, performance and consistency. Before we even get into all of that, what do y'all think an action plan and consistency looks like?
Me buying the camera, looking up prices for the camera, making sure that I know what sites to see. Like the DC Butterfly Garden, I need pictures of that. Everybody keeps going, everybody's taking pictures. I'm not liking this. Oh, New York. I'm dragging people to go to New York with me now.
Oh my.
No choice. I want pictures. Y'all gonna stand. Y'all gonna wait patiently, take my pictures. Then we can take pictures together. But let me take my scenery pictures first.
I don't mind traveling. I love traveling. Like, we've been put on a little hold because of this, back and forth with the countries and things. So I ain't really trying to.
Kind of scared.
Let me say this too. I keep doing it, but bro, hear me. Those who are watching me, this stuff is boring, but it has a major impact on you. If you're not taking the initiative to understand what it is, you'll be blind because you are blind. The people lack because of lack of vision, right?
Exactly.
Lack of consistency and lack of interest. It is not attractive, but it is important, right? So that when they're talking about conversations as far as budgets and where money goes and this, and then we have these conversations of why, and then you come to Pennsylvania Avenue and whatever, North Avenue, and say, schools are not great. This is not great. That's because you're not civically engaged or involved or even have the thought of curiosity.
Exactly.
Do your homework, please. Understand what these people are talking about because you will continue to be fooled each and every day because they go before you and have a conversation, right? Use the specific language that are buzzwords so that way you will never articulate or understand when they're really saying in your face that you are illiterate and I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing already and continue to get away with you.
If you want to hide information, put it in a book. So
that's what they're trying to do in Florida, right? But Johns Hopkins, and I don't care who I call out. Let me say that now. Places like Under Armour and Johns Hopkins, who are continually saying that they are for the people, by the people, funded for. I don't care again who I call out, but they're continuing to put rails and separation and division between you and your families because you're not doing the initiative to understand more. You are under attack. Youth are under attack, and I'm telling you that now. You are not the leaders of tomorrow. You're the leaders of today. Please hear me. Not just to these folks here, but who are watching us. You are the solutions and the creativity. These people are begging on you to fail. And if you speak up and use your voice, they can do anything. They can't even shut your mouth. Continue to walk and continue to keep speaking, right? Because if not, you'll continue to get fooled and bewitched. You don't want that.
And with that, Keith said also, how can we get more youth to take initiative?
Yeah, just answer that, right?
yeah,
Be more civically engaged.
understand that the future is up to us.
Yeah.
How I don't know how like urgently
involved.
or like how important that is, but the future, how that looks and how much freedom that we have is basically is solely based on us and what we allow and what we don't speak up and speak up for. That's why we're having this podcast, and that's why itself is a podcast to give the youth a voice because we do know a lot of things that are detrimental to our mental or our physical. A lot is being targeted towards the youth. Like Tyler emphasized, we are under attack, and we do have to step up to take control of our future.
We gotta invite them to take initiative too. Also,
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a welcoming and inviting space. Don't be scared.
Like I was talking to somebody before who was a senior leader in government, and she said to me, "I don't mind passing the baton to the next generation. I just don't trust that y'all can handle it." Who are you to say that, right? Because you're not taking the initiative to equip us to it. But also, I say that to say that they don't see anybody who's interested in it.
Or they're not even giving us the opportunity to show. Like I feel like
They
a
want
lot
us
of
all together now.
like a lot of time the youth are all put in a pocket of don't know no better, reckless,
sometimes
immature. You know what I mean? There's those that do believe in us and come to us to pick our brains to genuinely see what it is and how they can make our future be possible. You know what I mean? But I feel like if we get accustomed to these labels, we will become what that they say that we are. Because if we continue to move like this and put ourselves in the pocket, we won't be acceptable to change and what change looks like. Like the goodness is now becoming like that's boring, and the badness is being more normalized. And I feel like that's another way that we're being attacked because a lot of the things that's supposed to be like having morals, your beliefs, staying true to yourself, that's boring, you know what I mean? But following what the next person do and moving with the crowd instead of the path that looks golden to you is being more normalized. So
Yeah, because I'm not sure about y'all, but like few times like going out, I get discriminated because like I'll say my age, and because I'm still anyway, because I'm still like young, with 19 being young, I don't care what y'all say, it's still young.
girl
They-
is still young.
Yes, they be like, oh, you don't have a boss or a supervisor that's on their way because they don't trust that we can just be civil until they see that we're here for several hours, we committed that, and then they're like, oh, now it's like kind of a pie in their face for that.
I feel like a lot of people are surprised I'm on like a podcast show. I did like 5 events, and a lot of people came out to me. Was like, "Oh, you're on a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "How old are you?" 14. I was like, "I'm glad that you is doing this." I was like, "Yeah."
Take yourself serious so that they can take you serious.
Exactly. There was one more thing I wanted to say, but I think I just forgot it. It was kind of piggybacking off of Kendra. What was that last thing you just said?
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That is, ooh, I forgot how to say his name. Lao Tzu.
Layout is
Okay, don't even try that.
Next line.
But yeah, the reason why that quote is there because all it takes is basically someone to stand up. It might take a long journey to get there, but you're gonna get there eventually. That's why they say like the steps you take, it definitely do be steep. You gotta take a lot of them, but not everyone actually knows what steps to take sometimes, and sometimes you're taking the right steps, but it's a lot of work. Even people that are older than us, they be saying they have no idea what they're doing also sometimes.
And having on that, because let the adults make a mistake. I don't know everything. I don't know everything. But let it come to a decision that they want to be right. I know better. My advice is don't let no adult in a position of authority, just because it is authority, make you feel like you don't have a voice. Um, you're not sure about yourself. You don't know what it is that you want to do. You are silenced in whatever it is that you believe in and whatever change it is that you want to make or add to. You have to stick up for yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will, and you will continue to be dismissed and undermined. And a lot of the time, the youth have a lot of wisdom about our generation, because it is our generation, and how to maneuver through it, that some of our elder peers look at us and say thank you for that, because I didn't know about it, and if it wasn't for you with the young mind that you have and a different perspective that you have, I wouldn't be able to look at it in this perspective and be open-minded and have make a change.
Don't let nobody tell you can't do something you want to do.
Exactly.
You're not a checkpoint, not a data metric.
Literally.
Can't be
You're
put
not
inside
here
that
for
box.
likes,
Don't put it. Yeah, we ain't in no pocket.
social media.
We in there. We out there. Yeah. But strategy, call to action, evaluation. Strategy. Basically, what's your plan? How you about to maneuver through this? You know what I mean? What does that look like? A plan, for example, we're going to reduce waste, save energy and education, and educate others through social media and school. The call to action will look like, what do you want people to do? That means you have to encourage them. You have to give them something to believe in. Young people should start recycling, should start a recycling program, post eco-friendly tips online, or talk to school leaders about going green to have a better outlook in the future of our environment. Evaluation. How do you know it is working? This means checking the results of your efforts and reflecting on the impact. So that means during your strategy, how many people do you want to join this organization? At the end, how many people actually did sign up? And then that will tell you your results and how well and effective whatever strategy or plan that you have, how did it go?
And how you need to tweak it so you make it better.
Exactly. That kind of relates to the SMART goals. I feel like for a good strategy, call to action, and evaluation, look up what SMART goals are and try to tap into that. I feel like that'll give you a more structured space to start if you're trying to make an impact or come up with a plan for the community. You know what I mean? What do y'all think? You agree?
I
Right?
agree, especially because this is our moment. We only get one life, guys. So,
YOLO.
like they say, YOLO. You only live once. So, do the opportunities you can. Travel when you can. Make sure that you get experience for working. Make sure you get experience for cleaning. Because all of these, in the long run, they can really help you.
Exactly.
Definitely learn how to cook. Even when your friends want to make you cook a whole feast and you don't want to do that.
I'm not gonna lie. When I went on my trip, I made me and my friends we had this bomb nacho dip, and then the next morning I made Kendra make all of us some
Parfaits.
Greek yogurt bowl.
Listen, Greek yogurt.
Sort of.
We got some strawberries. We got some blueberries. Got honey, granola. Okay, with the granola part, we kind of messed up a little bit because one of our friends, we forgot they were allergic to nuts, so we had to get that away from them.
She was allergic, but that just shows. We said, okay, when we go on this trip, we're gonna be there for 6 days. Yes, I look, got tired of being there for 6 days. I want to come back home.
Y'all think
We said-
books.
I mean, we're talking about something. We said, okay, to move responsible and not be dead broke and stranded, we're gonna cook for 2 days and go out and chill, and eat for 3 days. So we said, okay, what is it that we want to eat? Like, we gotta make sure we think about this so that we just don't go in the store and spend a bunch of money. Our plan before was to make dinner, figure out what we want to do, save money. So we found a meal that was convenient enough to feed all of us, that wasn't over our budget, and it lasted.
I was talking with the girls. I would have got a whole bunch of snacks.
I mean, we got snacks.
That's why boys can't really go on a trip by themselves because
Yeah.
they
Whoa,
decide.
We
I
was
bet
cool.
man.
We had a nice pool amount.
They decide to just get snacks. Let's just go. We don't know what we're gonna
Hot
do. Let's
Pockets.
just go.
Hot
Yeah.
pocket.
Pizza
Y'all eat
rolls.
hot
Some little
pockets?
bites.
Some little
Yeah.
bites.
Nah,
Some
those,
little
wait.
bites.
You gotta
Pizza
get
rolls
some
and low
gushers.
bite. Pizza rolls and low bite. Pizza rolls and low bite.
Pizza rolls. I'm not
Pizza
lying.
rolls.
I need like 2 and 2.
What's y'all snacks?
Oh, we had Doritos. Okay, we should have got more Doritos.
Doritos, ice cream.
Ice cream. Watching
Oh
Empire
my
on the
God.
couch.
Watching Empire on the couch. Yes, we were so lit in Puerto Rico.
Oh, we had fruit. We made sure that we ate the fruit. Besides late in the parfaits, we ate the fruit while we watched like Empire and everything.
We had
Us
so
singing the
much fun
songs.
down there, y'all. It was so much fun. But there's something you asked me what my favorite snack. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People call me old for this, but I like Boston baked beans,
Ew, wow.
Chico sticks, hot Cheetos,
You and my boyfriend can be best friends now. You have fun there.
hot Cheetos,
Hot Cheetos.
and I love almond chocolate milk, not just regular chocolate milk. Almond
Almond
chocolate
chocolate
milk.
That's
I'm
what
telling you,
saying.
I like
so
almond
different.
milk, but almond chocolate milk.
It hits so different. It's so different.
Almond milk, I'm lactose tolerant,
Yeah, me
so
too.
almond milk be really good. I don't know what she's on about that almond chocolate milk.
My stepdad probably got tired of me. Can you get chocolate? Almond chocolate milk? Can you almond chocolate? Almond chocolate? Every time he went to the store, I would ask for it. Like, I used to want that real bad.
First thing I got some gushers.
Gushers. You like a lot of sour stuff.
Gushers not even sour.
But I'm surprised you ain't saying nothing sour.
Oh, I do like sour gummy worms. It's like I do like sour.
Alright.
Tyler, what about you?
My favorite snack.
Yeah.
I'm nature's candy. I like fruit.
Fruit? What's your favorite fruit? I love cantaloupe.
Mango.
Mango, I love mango
But
too.
when I am trying to be a big back, I am sour.
Big back. Okay.
Mine is everybody says this is the worst Doritos. Okay, the green hot Doritos that have the black and green, they are so good. And then it's
Never
the
heard.
purple Doritos right after.
Purple Doritos, yeah. Purple
Purple
Doritos.
Doritos is good. Green and what?
But let's shout out to the Maryland Service Year, which thanks to Westmore and also to Brandon Scott.
And shout out to our coach, Danielle.
Yes, definitely shout out to to Miss Danielle. And congrats to all the mail and service year options.
Everyone right
that
there in those
graduated.
pictures graduated and finished your service year program, which is a 9-month program. You get paid regularly $15 an hour every 2 weeks. And after you finish the program, you are awarded a $6,000 stipend. So make sure you do your research on that program.
Well, you told them the secret.
And SICA will be doing another year in its service year. So if you want to be with us, a safe, comfortable, secure, family-like environment, you know what
It's
it's
only 18 through 25. The chance to make a real impact while building your futures. You get different career paths. You don't have to be with like automatically SICA or whatever organizations there. Make sure that you pick the things that actually
align
are for
with you. Exactly.
Again, I think the application is closed for the next cohort.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone just put their application in yesterday.
But choose SICA as a site.
Okay.
I was about
Or
to say,
CLIA.
because I was like,
CLIA's
the
there
second
too.
year. I know that's second year. For the leaderships.
Is Zion and Brian doing a second year?
No, it's like,
No. Oh, okay.
we're just gonna continue to do what we're gonna do. I think that we've exercised our contribution to this service year and have all of the necessary tools to move forward. And so, in the light of what our EB, in the spirit of that culture, we're practicing intergenerational. So, upward mobility is what we're going to do.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And like we were saying with the mail-in resources and support, we got Defense Resource, also known as Yard, Heart Smiles,
Better help.
we got Dream Big Inferno, Youth Works also.
We have CLIA.
Yes, most network, and of course, Maryland Search Year.
And as well as YSL. Youth
Yes.
engagement. You know what I mean?
I know we got it closed, but it's press bar hospital. So something.
Yeah.
And the one that I will share before we get off of here, to those of us who are watching, is that the message is clear. The okie doke is different. It has already been written for your forefathers that you are not supposed to succeed. If you want to know what they're going to do as far as the next 3 years of while he's in the presidency, go study the 900 paper called Project 2025. You are not supposed to succeed. Not because you live in Baltimore, but because it's already been written that those who are part of the black and brown community will suffer. But what I do know, that I have no shadow without a doubt, is that all of you and all of us are doing the work. Continue to do it. Do not lose hope. Do not lose faith. For this too shall pass. And when I say that, I mean contribute what you want to make. Continue to collaborate with people who are doing the same thing that you are. But also make sure that the information that you do receive, you don't hold it selfishly. Give it to the next generation. Because where we are, it's never going to be. We don't care what's next.
Okay.
Correct. Love y'all.
You too. And thank y'all guys for the
Thank
love
you
and
so much,
support.
guys.
Don't forget the next show is actually online. Sadly, Avery won't be with us or Tyler.
I won't. I mean, unless they call me
Going for
again.
another
Don't try to say, I'll call you back.
Look,
Avery, you're coming back when it comes to the end of the month for July anyway. You know,
don't
you're
worry,
good.
we'll be seeing Tyler and Avery more.
Yes, and we will definitely see them for the actual youth and
I'm
family.
leaving for another
Wellness.
2 months.
He ain't going nowhere,
He's not
y'all.
going
He's
anywhere.
not going nowhere.
He said he's gonna take a hostile takeover for us anyway.
We're waiting for that.
Yeah.
Still.
But let's
Gotcha.
rate this episode 1 to 10. Be real in the chat, please.
And share it to your friends because
Yes.
we're not gone. We will be back and back and back with more and important topics for the community. So thank you guys for
And
watching.
with the podcast, I'm moving around sometimes, but still in Baltimore always. So thank you for showing your support and love. Good night. Would you like to close us out?
Thank y'all for inviting me to SICA. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all know. And y'all chopping it up, chopping it down.
Bye guys.
Y'all take care.
That bye guys is crazy.
Wait, I don't think it's ended.
God bless. Y'all be safe.